What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another news video. As always, the wrestling world is plenty abuzz with news, so join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at your 25th October 2019 news, including an update on a major injury to a WWE superstar, Jim Ross barbecues Seth Rollins, will women ever wrestle in Saudi Arabia, is Edge returning to the ring, why Punk didn't get the WWE Backstage gig, more rumors on his return, WWE stars jealous at Jake Hager's AEW success, some WWE Hall of Famers appearing in Dynamite, their latest signing, and AEW and NXT draw the lowest viewership to date. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos like this, as Xavier Woods is out for almost a year. As reported earlier this week, the New Day's Xavier Woods was injured during a tag match against the Revival during a live event in Australia. Woods suffered a torn Achilles tendon, with Dave Meltzer observing, Woods suffered a torn Achilles tendon on 21st October in Sydney, Australia, which is a very serious injury and is likely to put him on the shelf 9 months to a year. Woods tweeted about the injury and is putting a positive spin on the situation, saying, "Man's injured, I'll keep y'all updated, but as of right now I'm gonna stream a lot, gonna hit cons a lot, gonna post sponsored tweets a lot, gonna eat pizza a lot, so many things to do. First cosplay coming next Saturday. I'm already laughing about it." The injury presents a problem for the New Day now that one of its members is out for the next year, but it also presents opportunities for Kofi Kingston and Big E should the WWE decide to continue Kofi's singles push and give Big E a similar singles push. Next up, Jim Ross barbecues Seth Rollins. Not too long ago, Seth Rollins took a shot at AEW's Kenny Omega during Rollins' appearance at a fan convention. Rollins was asked about a future match with Omega, and the current Universal Champion snarked he'd love to wrestle Omega when he's done with the minor leagues. During an episode of his podcast, Grillin' JR, AEW announcer Jim Ross addressed Rollins' remarks. "Rollins, he's got a great spot, he's blessed. Maybe someday he'll be as over as his girlfriend. I don't know. Nonetheless, I've always liked his work. He's a solid guy, but saying things like that make him look bad, and for that I feel badly. I just do. It's just a different world. You can't mix all the different rules and metaphors and apples and oranges and all those crazy ass cliches, man." So for anyone to say, "Look, here's the thing I find incredulous about this deal," one of the things he says, "when you're through playing in the minor leagues." Ironically, he, Mr. Shad Khan's, got more money than Vince McMahon. But nonetheless, that's another story for another day. We think we're on a great network with TNT, and we think we have a chance to build a nice brand. You'll never hear me, Conrad even, when we're drinking saying we're gonna kick WWE's ass. It's stupid. As the battle between AEW and WWE continues, you can expect a continued war of words as long as people like Seth Rollins and Kenny Omega poke at their rivals via social media and public appearances. Next up, will women ever wrestle in Saudi Arabia? The WWE has been heavily criticized for its promoting wrestling events in Saudi Arabia. Be sure to check out our upcoming Behind the Titantron video WWE Blood Money for more details, with the WWE claiming it is hoping to promote cultural change in the nation. One such change would be having women's matches at the WWE Saudi Arabia events. While this hasn't happened, there's talk that it could happen in 2020. According to a source in WWE, the General Sports Authority and WWE have reached a deal on women's matches for future events in Saudi Arabia in 2020. I'm told the deal was overseen by Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud himself. Whether or not this materializes into an actual match remains to be seen, but bin Abdulaziz Al Saud is Saudi Arabia's crown prince, so one would think his involvement carries all the necessary authority. Our next story is Edge returning to the ring. There's more talk that the wrestling's R-rated superstar is training for a return to the ring. In 2011, the WWE Hall of Famer was forced to retire due to various neck injuries, but there's been talk of late of Edge wrestling again. Edge appeared at 2019 SummerSlam, spearing Elias, further fueling the rumors. Now a WWE insider has claimed, Edge is training for an in-ring return, not full-time. The time frame isn't certain, but it's believed to be by WrestleMania. I'm told WWE medical staff will keep a close eye on him. This would be huge news, as the WWE is always looking to promote WWE legends for matches at the Showcase of the Immortals. Would you like to see Edge battle if he's cleared to return? Let us know in the comments. Next up, why CM Punk didn't get the WWE Backstage gig. While FS1's new studio show WWE Backstage is still in its infancy, there were rumors that CM Punk might get a role on the show. We do know that Punk auditioned for the show, but according to Sportskeeda's Tom Colohue, the WWE had some influence in Punk not getting the gig. Firstly, as regards to WWE Backstage, I'm told by a source in Fox that CM Punk was never close to presenting the role that he applied for. The idea that WWE do not have a say in the people on their own platform is apparently very wide of the mark, and while the WWE aren't known to have outright vetoed the move, I am told the concerns of their management were definitely heard. But that was in regards to his WWE Backstage gig. What about a wrestling return? Now, we'll say it before and we'll say it again. Until CM Punk is wrestling in the ring, we don't know for sure what his intentions are concerning a wrestling comeback. Again, these are just rumors. Now, Punk has repeatedly said he's done with wrestling, only to recently recant his statement. As for the WWE's views on Punk returning, Tom Colohue recently reported, "I can also report that Vince himself, who has so far made no comment on the situation, is open to the idea of having CM Punk return to the wrestling ring. Sources tell me that Vince sees the potential to make money from CM Punk, and Vince has no problem with Punk, he'd love to have him back. However, CM Punk and Vince McMahon's stubbornness could prevent this from happening." According to Colohue, Vince McMahon is apparently not willing to reach out to CM Punk himself, but will happily take a phone call should CM Punk decide he wishes to wrestle again. One source stated the following, "Vince and Hunter, they're proud men. Punk is a proud man. Somebody's got to get over that and go first. And it's not gonna be Vince. With money on the table, it's stupid to think that these men would just let their pride get in the way." Next up, WWE stars are jealous at Jake Hager's AEW success. Wrestling News has a story detailing how several WWE superstars are said to be envious of Jake Hager's current position in AEW, with one superstar reportedly saying, "I know he just started and he hasn't done a whole lot with them yet, but Jack Swagger is already a bigger deal with them than he was when he was here. They talk him up as an MMA badass instead of an ex-WWE guy, and that's smart of them to do. And they have done so much to get over those younger guys. There's something about the way everyone is presented that is appealing." While we don't know who said what, we do know that WWE morale is said to be in the basement, and at least several stars are teasing their hopes to head to AEW. In another story at Wrestling News, another WWE superstar added, "I don't know how many of us watch AEW, but I know a few guys and girls here that watch the show every week. You can't deny that their shows are great. My friends there say there's no bullshit politics there, and no walking on eggshells like WWE's Backstage." Jericho going there made it okay to say, "Yeah, WWE is not the end-all be-all, and I'll be fine if I decide to leave. It doesn't hurt that AEW's schedule is much easier on the body." Some superstars have been vocal about their wishes to leave WWE. Recently, Revival's Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder lamented the WWE breaking up their alliance with Randy Orton, tweeting, "What should have been? Thank you, Randy. We'll see you down the road." Wilder added, "What will be, eventually." The Revival and Orton's short-lived alliance on SmackDown Live against The New Day was one of the show's few highlights, and they would likely be well received in AEW. But whilst we're still on the topic of AEW, two WWE Hall of Famers will be on hand when AEW Dynamite concludes the AEW World Tag Team Championship Tournament. AEW announced on Twitter, "Next Wednesday, October 30th on AEW Dynamite, we will crown the first ever AEW World Tag Team Champions. The belts will be presented to the winners of the tournament by the legendary Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson are two of the biggest names in tag team wrestling and played a major role in the second golden age of tag team wrestling during the 1980s. AEW have also had another signing, but not in wrestler form, as they recently announced the cartoon world's own Rick and Morty are now all elite. At least according to a recent tweet by AEW Executive Vice President Cody. Spoiler: fans attending this Wednesday in Charleston for the Halloween AEW on TNT will receive Rick and Morty masks. For those who are unfamiliar with the cartoon, it is an adult animated sitcom that follows the misadventures of cynical mad scientist Rick Sanchez and his good-hearted but fretful grandson Morty Smith, who split their time between domestic life and interdimensional adventures. And our last story today, AEW and NXT draws its lowest viewership. Now the two shows are at war with each other every Wednesday night, and AEW has managed to pull out another victory against NXT for the fourth week in a row. Whilst both scores are still acceptable, sadly both are on the decline in terms of viewing figures. scoring the lowest in 4 weeks. AEW Dynamite drew 963,000 viewers, while NXT drew 698,000. AEW also beat NXT in the all-important 18 to 49 demographic, but with a steady decline each week, what will next week's numbers be like? But there you have it guys, your latest wrestling news. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.